This is a response to Be Serious, and I'm going to be responding to two of your videos simultaneously here. First, your response to what's going on with Corey Anton's departure, but also the question, how is the internet changing the way that you're thinking? Shocking as it may be, I'm something of an outsider on this issue. Something of an outsider in that it is perpetually bizarre and amazing to me to see people respond to the internet as this new thing that suddenly happened to all of us somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years ago. Bit of context. I've been on the internet most of my life. Not most of my adult life. Most of my life. If you can imagine a 7-year-old Ben sitting down in front of a cement block of a computer with an 800 baud modem that generated more noise than a table saw, to hop onto a University Magellan intranet to participate in the chat room there. You're thinking along the right. You're thinking in the right directions. So this is the idea of the internet as something new is hard for me to. I can understand it in a socio-historical context, but that has no traction in my personal experience. I don't have an experience of newness of the internet. It just does not fit into my existential narrative at all. So something of an outsider on the issue. But as an outsider, and as someone, there are certainly people who have been on the net in its various forms for longer than I. But as someone who's been around for a while, it is very, very odd to me to see how people seem to have maturation cycles specific to the internet. People have, it seems that individuals often have a developmental cycle in their relationship to the internet and to other people on the internet that is very much akin to their normal social maturation cycle. There is an infancy, the stumbling around, the sense of terror and wonder, the need to carve out an identity for oneself. And that generally being done very bombastically at the expense of others, and a gradual, and some people never get here, some people never get to that place, in much the same way that some people never really socially mature. But when they do, this gradual realization that the other people that they interact with through an electronic medium are other people, and are other people that are people in much the same way that they are people. And a lot of people never get there. But again, for the people for whom the internet is a new thing, it's well, we're bumbling around in the world of 10-year-olds, developmentally speaking. We're in a very much a Lord of the Flies kind of scenario, where 10-year-olds are dictating social values, and that directly corresponding to your comments regarding the way that Anton has been received and treated, and his frustrations with that, which I can certainly relate to. As far as how the internet has changed my thinking personally, it's been integral. It has been integral to my thinking. to the development of my thinking, both social, topical, but also procedural, and not in the way, not in the context in which the question is being asked. I did take a look at the article on Edge magazine. Not in the context in which the question is being asked. They are top to bottom. They are top to bottom addressing the internet explosion. Circa 98 to 2002, which again I have no real connection with. I cannot connect with that event in any personally meaningful way, other than I made a lot of money at the time. But more to the point, the internet radically altered my thinking by giving me access to the thoughts of people in a much broader net and with much greater variety than I would otherwise have been privileged to access. The internet is not a thing. It is not an object. It is a place. It is a conceptual geography that has been superimposed, very loosely connected to the material geography that we're more accustomed to. And that is the way in which it has changed my thinking, is by allowing me sometimes passive and sometimes active membership in a country that does not recognize conventional geographical boundaries, does not recognize conventional geographical spaces and conventional geographical relations. And how it has changed my thinking, I, in many ways, cannot comment, because it was intrinsic and formative to my thinking. So I guess just take that as a slice of context and roll back through whichever of my videos you think you think that may shed some extra light on. But I guess there's your answer. And regarding general behavior on the internet, I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing those who regard the medium as shocking, new, and a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to escape social accountability. And there's an interesting note in that the internet, the internet explosion, the popularization of the internet is the only thing I can think of, the only example I can think of where long-distance communication has absolved people of existing social responsibilities rather than imposing a new set on top of them. For example, the writing of a letter. You take normal social graces and you add an air of formality or compositional excellence on top of that. Telephone etiquette goes above and beyond normal etiquette. But here we have the exact opposite occurring, which I find very curious. I'm looking forward to people who use the internet in that way growing up and recognize that even if someone is 60, 70 years old, but they've only been on the internet for 10 years, and are behaving as an adolescent, they are an adolescent.